if you've been practicing for a while, question 12 should look pretty familiar. We've seen lots of questions, the SAT does this all the time, where we're changing units. And so the way that those questions almost always work themselves out is that we're going to use ratios. So ratios and units go together here. And once we have that, we have something to kind of like anchor onto. This is maybe what I would call the get back to basics strategy, right? A lot of questions on the SAT feel new. They seem like something we've never seen before. But the SAT is a standardized test. They ask the same kinds of questions again and again and again. They're just really good at making them seem new. So if we practice and we recognize the patterns, it becomes easier to know what to do when we hit certain types of things. So anytime units are involved, unit conversion, we're going to use some ratios. So first, let's start by just using the two things that we care about, right? So the vent is 3.1 miles below the sea's surface. Approximately how many kilometers below the sea's surface is the vent? So it's not a rate per se, but it's a comparison. We're trying to see that if we have 3.1 miles, how many kilometers is that, right? That's our first ratio. And then we're using a second ratio, a second fraction, to compare those things. And our guide here is that we need to have the same units on the top and the same units on the bottoms, right? So top to top, bottom to bottom. So this is easy because there's no other units besides kilometers and miles. We know that we need 0.6214 miles on the top because I need miles to be equal to miles. And that means 1 kilometer on the bottom. And now we can cross multiply and divide. There are other ways of doing this. With unit conversion, there's lots of ways, but I think that as much as possible, we don't want to have a solution that's unique to each situation. We want to have a process that we can use no matter what the situation is. It gives us much more confidence in that process. And when we need to get back to basics, it gives us some basic thing to get back to so that we're comfortable when the situation gets weird. So now it's just cross multiplying. Right, so x times that is 0.6214x, and then 3.1 times 1 is 3.1. And now I'm just dividing by 0.6214, 0.6214. To get x by itself, definitely using the calculator for that, 3.1 divided by 0.6214 is 4.99, and approximately means round. 4.99 is approximately 5. So there we go. That is the answer. And this one wasn't too bad, but we have a good process so that when ratios and units do get harder, we can apply the same process and be just as confident, even though there's going to be more steps.